Welcome to the Niceville-Valparaiso Chamber of Commerce TV Business Forum. My name is Marion Riley-Taylor, and I will be your host today. I'd like to have our first section be and introduce Armand Izzo with the Government Affairs Committee. Welcome, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Marion.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about the Government Affairs Committee.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so excited about this committee. It's really a great thing. We've always had a Government Affairs Committee in the Chamber, Marion, but it's lapsed a bit. And this year, they decided to re-energize it. It's a really important part of the Chamber. Really, our mission is, what we would like to do is help the Chamber members stay plugged in at all levels of government, from the gubernatorial level all the way to the local level. So we had this opportunity to energize us, add some new members to this committee, and I was lucky enough to be picked as the chairman.
Well, wonderful. Yes, it's very important, I think, in our area to have a Government Affairs Committee, and especially being around the military, being around a lot of important things going on, not only in the city, but in our county and in our state. So first of all, I appreciate you stepping up to the helm and chairing that committee. And so the first thing I have here to talk about is something really big coming up for the Government Affairs Committee, and that, I believe, is called the Economic Update Breakfast.
Excellent. Yeah, really, I appreciate the opportunity to tell you about it. We're so excited. We didn't want to do too much as we re-energized this year, but one thing we really wanted to do is help all the Chamber members, and everybody for that matter, to get a better picture, a better idea, shake a crystal ball and take a look into the future and see what's out there. So we planned this great breakfast. It's going to be a marvelous event. It's on the 22nd of May at a wonderful venue, the Leadership Institute, the Costa Leadership Institute at Northwest Florida State College. It's this, the 22nd, and what we're going to do, we have 4 experts joining us, and they're all going to have a few minutes to tell us a little bit about their crystal ball and how they see the future. And then we'll have a panel discussion. We'll be able to ask questions of these experts.
Well, good. Why don't you tell me a little bit about who the 4 experts who are going to be able to look in their crystal ball and tell us what's happening?
Absolutely.
But tell me a little bit about who it's going to be and maybe what they're going to be talking about.
Great. Yeah, we thought about it at the committee, who should be there, who fits it in. We didn't want it too large, but we didn't want it too small. So first we have Dr. Rick Harper. He's a well-known expert in economics in the local area. Then we have Ernie Paget. He's from the county administrator, give us a sense of the county government. And then we invited Alan Baggett, the president of the Builders Association, not only for Okaloosa, but for Walton counties. I think that that's an important piece in understanding or forecasting what he thinks the residential home how that will change, how that will fluctuate. And then finally, longtime resident Dr. David Getch. He's a wonderful, I would say, an expert in leadership, and he also has a marvelous background and insight into the military affairs and the economic thrust the military brings to this county and to this to the Niceville and Fort Walton Beach. And
I think it's wise. I think all 4 of those people have their finger on the pulse of what's happening, and it's important for our area in Niceville-Valparaiso. We are growing tremendously, and like you said, with the businesses and the housing market increasing, with all the people moving in, both military and non-military, that's going to have a big change in the makeup of what's happening in our county.
That's exactly right. What we were trying to offer is 4 facets, each a little different, but as we now shape our own crystal ball, what do we want to do? Well, do we want to open up a new restaurant? Do we want to add seats to a new restaurant, open a grocery store? What do we want to do, and how will this information help us? So we thought it was really important. We think that these 4 facets will give us great insight and help us plan the future.
Now, is this event only open to Chamber members?
No, that's the great thing. It's open to the public. It's wonderful. There's a lot of information about it on the Chamber website. It's www.nicevillechamber.com. They could find out about it there.
Okay, and is it open to everybody? I mean, do you have a large amount of seats available? Do you have to RSVP?
Oh, great, yeah. Well, I think so. It's a wonderful venue. We have room for about 120 people.
Okay.
So
it's important for people to call and RSVP.
That's right. So you can either contact the Chamber, and we'll give you the phone number later, or go to the website. It's www.nicevillechamber.com, and you could sign up there. It's a very reasonable cost. For the breakfast, we'll start about $7:30. It's $20 for this great event. But it's really, I think, well worth it in terms of the forecasting the crystal ball information that we'll be able to take from it.
Talk to me a little bit about the time it starts. You said breakfast starts at 7:30.
Sure, I think that's great. We're going to start at 7:30. We'll have about a half hour of breakfast time and some networking time. Everyone will get a chance to mingle with each other, and then we'll actually start the program at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And it'll go for maybe about 1 hour, about 1 hour and 30 minutes. As I said, we'll give each one of the 4 presenters an opportunity to say something, and then we'll have a panel discussion, and we'll open it up for questions. We're very fortunate. One of the members of the committee is Dr. Ty Handy, and he's going to be the moderator. So we think we'll be very
excellent.
So it'll be very neat and organized, and we'll stay right on time.
Oh, that's important.
Yes.
So people will be done about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yes.
So you come spend the morning. Important to RSVP.
Very, very, very important.
Only because there are 120 seats. The Costa leadership, I think they are fantastic.
They are.
And it's a great venue, and I'm glad again to see everybody just combining hands and making this happen.
Yeah, it's really a wonderful thing. Yeah, if you haven't been to the Costa Institute, the Leadership Institute is a marvelous venue. These 4 gentlemen, we think that they'll provide great, valuable insight from the 4 different facets that they'll present from. And it's an opportunity to meet your neighbors, to meet some fellow business people, and have a great breakfast and a great time.
Well, wonderful. Anything else you want to talk about
Sure,
as we wind down our little bit of time?
For the Government Affairs Committee, we didn't want to do too much in this re-energizing year, but we are going to have a candidate forum closer to the primaries in August.
Fantastic.
We're going to invite all the candidates and have an opportunity to visit with them and ask them questions and get to know the candidates. We think that is very valuable as we approach the primaries and the election in November.
No, I think that's wonderful because I appreciate all the papers putting all their information, but if I can actually go meet them and talk to them, then that helps me make a better decision on who to vote for when it's time.
I think so too. I think if you get to know them just a little bit, get to see them in action, if you will, I think that that's very beneficial. And then we'll have the fall to plan some great new things in the Government Affairs Committee for next year.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're
I appreciate you stepping up to the helm of chairing the Government Affairs Committee.
Thank you very much for having me, Marion.
Thank you.
It was a great pleasure.
It was nice to see you. And don't forget to RSVP.
Yes.
The phone number should be on the TV screen.
Excellent.
And that about wraps it up.
Great.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Armand.
Marion.
Nice to see
Thank you.
We'll be right back to visit with our second guest.